The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. What if success wasn't about luck, talent, or being in the right place at the right time, but about practicing a few simple habits every day? Stephen Covey's classic, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, has sold over 40 million copies worldwide and is considered one of the most influential self-help books of all time. In today's video, we'll break down each of the 7 habits in a way that's easy to understand, and more importantly, easy to apply to your own life. Stick around until the end, because I'll also share how these habits build on each other to create lasting effectiveness in every area of your life. Stephen Covey was a leadership expert, teacher, and businessman who believed that true success comes not from quick fixes or hacks, but from building character. Published in 1989, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People quickly became a global phenomenon because it combined timeless wisdom with practical advice. Covey's big idea is that effectiveness in work, relationships, and personal growth is not about personality tricks or surface-level techniques. It's about building strong habits based on universal principles like integrity, responsibility, and growth. These 7 habits are designed to take you from being dependent to independent and finally to interdependent, where you work effectively with others. Habit 1. Be proactive. The first habit is be proactive. Covey says we all have 2 circles in life, the circle of concern and the circle of influence. The circle of concern includes all the things we worry about but can't control: the economy, the weather, politics, other people's opinions. The circle of influence includes the things we can control, our own actions, attitudes, and responses. Ineffective people spend most of their energy in the circle of concern, complaining and blaming. Effective people focus on their circle of influence, taking responsibility for their own choices. Being proactive means you stop saying things like, "There's nothing I can do," and start asking, "What can I control right now?" It's the difference between being a victim of your circumstances and being the creator of your future. Practical takeaway. Next time you face a challenge, pause and ask, "Is this within my control?" If it is, act. If it's not, let it go. Proactivity is the foundation of all the other habits. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. The second habit is begin with the end in mind. Imagine attending your own funeral. Who would be there? What would you want them to say about you? This exercise, which Covey suggests, helps us clarify what really matters. This habit is about having a vision for your life. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up climbing the wrong ladder, only to discover it's leaning against the wrong wall. Covey encourages us to write a personal mission statement, a compass that guides our decisions. For example, if your mission is to live a healthy, balanced life, then staying late at work every night at the expense of your health doesn't fit your end goal. Practical takeaway. Write down your top 3 to 5 values. Ask yourself, does my daily life reflect these values? Begin every project, every week, and even every day with the end in mind. Habit 3. Put first things first. The third habit is put first things first. If habit 2 is about deciding what's important, habit 3 is about living according to those priorities. Covey introduces a famous tool called the time management matrix, which divides tasks into 4 quadrants: urgent and important, crises, deadlines. Not urgent but important: planning, health, relationships, learning. Urgent but not important, interruptions, emails, busy work. Not urgent and not important, social media scrolling, mindless activities. Most people spend their time in quadrant 1 and 3, reacting to crises and distractions. Highly effective people spend more time in quadrant 2, the not urgent but important activities. These are the things that prevent crises in the first place. Exercise, meaningful work, deep relationships, personal growth. Practical takeaway. This week, schedule time for one quadrant 2 activity that you've been neglecting. Maybe calling a friend, exercising, or learning a skill. Protect it like it's a meeting with your future self. Habit 4. Think win-win. The fourth habit is think win-win. Life isn't a zero-sum game. Effective people believe there's enough success, love, recognition, and opportunity for everyone. Instead of competing against others, they look for solutions where all parties benefit. For example, in a business negotiation, a win-lose mindset might push you to get the best deal at the expense of the other person. But in the long run, that damages trust and the relationship. A win-win mindset asks, how can we both succeed? Covey emphasizes that win-win is not being nice or avoiding conflict. It's being courageous enough to seek mutual benefits while still standing for your own needs. Practical takeaway. Next time you're in a conflict, shift your mindset from how can I win to how can we both walk away happy? Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. The fifth habit is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most of us listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. We're busy preparing our response, giving advice, or relating it back to our own experience. Covey calls this autobiographical listening. Effective people practice empathetic listening, truly trying to understand the other person's feelings and perspective before sharing their own. Once people feel understood, they're far more open to listening in return. Communication becomes collaboration instead of competition. Practical takeaway. In your next conversation, catch yourself before giving advice or interrupting. Instead, ask a follow-up question like, can you tell me more about how that felt? Listen to understand, not just to respond. Habit 6. Synergize. The sixth habit is synergize. Synergy means that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's about valuing differences, combining strengths, and creating outcomes that are better than what any individual could achieve alone. Think about a jazz band improvising. Each musician brings their own talent, but together they create something new and better than what they could do individually. In life, this means seeking out diverse opinions, collaborating with others, and being open to new solutions instead of insisting on your way. Practical takeaway. Next time you're in a group project or even a family discussion, instead of pushing your idea, ask, what's a solution we haven't thought of yet? Be curious about differences instead of threatened by them. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. The seventh habit is sharpen the saw. Imagine a man sawing down a tree with a dull saw. He's exhausted, sweating, and making little progress. Someone suggests he stop and sharpen the saw. But he replies, I don't have time. I'm too busy sawing. We do the same in our lives. We get so busy working, chasing goals, and handling crises that we neglect to take care of ourselves. Sharpening the saw means renewing ourselves in 4 areas: physical, exercise, sleep, nutrition; mental, learning, reading, reflection; social, relationships, service, connection; and spiritual purpose, meditation, values. Practical takeaway: schedule regular time to rest, recharge, and grow. Remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's what allows you to stay effective long-term. How the habits fit together. Covey explains that the first three habits, be proactive, begin with the end in mind, and put first things first, are about achieving independence. You learn to take responsibility, create a vision, and live by priorities. The next three habits, think win-win, seek first to understand and synergize, are about interdependence. They teach you how to work effectively with others. The seventh habit, sharpen the saw, renews you so you can keep practicing the others. Together, these 7 habits form a complete framework for personal and professional effectiveness. Conclusion. So, to summarize, be proactive. Focus on what you can control. Begin with the end in mind. Have a vision and mission. Put first things first. Prioritize what really matters. Think win-win, seek mutual benefit. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Practice empathetic listening. Synergize. Value differences and collaborate. Sharpen the saw. Renew yourself regularly. The 7 habits of highly effective people isn't about quick fixes. It's about living by timeless principles that lead to lasting success. Start by focusing on one habit this week. Over time, you'll find that effectiveness becomes a way of life. Thanks for watching this summary of the 7 habits of highly effective people. If you found it valuable, subscribe to 10-Minute Minds for more book breakdowns every week. Which book should we cover next? Drop your suggestion in the comments.